tests become toxic when they start changing the way we think and feel about education. They become toxic when we start using the wrong tool the wrong way. But when we hold kids' graduation to that, that's toxic.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. What is education? What is the most important outcome for public schools? I'm going to start today by asking you all to take a little test. You don't mind, do you? It's a multiple choice question. You will receive your score in the mail by August. Are you ready? Finish this sentence, please. The most important outcome of a public school education in the United States is A, to have every student be college and career ready as defined by the Pearson Corporation. Anyone? Yeah. B, to predict and prevent major problems humans will create by the time a student enters the adult world. Is the most important outcome of education C, to create conscious, compassionate, critical thinkers? Or is it D, to train a workforce which will perpetuate a greed-based economy? Is it E, to produce informed and civic-minded voters so our democracy can advance sustainably? Is it F, to connect people from around the globe to ensure all people are treated justly and fairly? Or is it G, to pass an assortment of high-stakes tests? In this information age, we have not been discussing this question. Here we find ourselves today. My name is Julianna Dauble. I grew up in South Park, Seattle. My parents were working class. My mom was lucky enough to stay home with my brother and I until I was in junior high school. My neighborhood friends in South Seattle were refugees from Vietnam. They were African Americans. They were Native Americans. They were all very poor, but rich in family. They attended the neighborhood school, which had very few resources. It looked like a prison, the way the fence enclosed the blacktop and the windows were barred. My friends did not like school. Their teachers never stayed there for very many years, and the work they did was boring. I, however, was bused to a fantastic elementary school in West Seattle. My teachers were experts, autonomous, and creative. We had civics. We had field trips and art. We had foreign language, music every day, 3 recesses, and there were no bubble tests. There were no high stakes of any test of any kind. There was immense learning. So I saw this inequality as a small child, and a smolder of righteous indignation began to grow inside me. Why didn't my neighborhood friends have the same opportunities that I had? I was in 2nd grade when Seattle teachers went on strike. My mom and her friends homeschooled us during that time. And I remember agreeing with the adults around me at that time. Good for those teachers. Good for them for standing for something. I was 7 years old. That was the same year the Chernobyl meltdown happened. I grew as a human being that year. And in junior high, I began to be indignant about environmental degradation. I was learning about all sorts of things that were happening to the world, and nobody was speaking out. In high school, I had innovative teachers who were granted flexibility, and they had an integrated school within a school program. We had a lot of racial tension in my high school. My teachers gave us time and support to delve into those issues because they were not chained to a toxic high-stakes test. They gave us time and space, and we constructed our own meaning, what it meant to be an American citizen. In college at WSU, I took elementary education courses, and I fell in love with the constructivist model of teaching. I learned how to give kids the materials and time, and how to facilitate them and their groupings to help them become thinkers. Teaching my first year and in the Renton School District, I saw some kids still needed so much more than I could provide. They deserve the type of curriculum and support that I had at Highlands Elementary School in West Seattle in 1984. My feelings of outrage over this opportunity gap soon returned, and I became an activist. That year was 2001, and since then we have had No Child Left Behind. We have had a Congress who has increased toxic testing steadily ever since. There will be a lot of amazing speakers today who will open your eyes to what is happening in our public schools. I promise you will find hope, because regardless of your political leanings, Everyone here today cares about kids, and together we can make our schools what our kids deserve. This country was founded on struggle. Together in our struggle, we will triumph, and we will return our schools to a place of dignity and learning for our kids. I am so proud to announce our first speaker today. Our first speaker is Monica Stonier. She's an instructional coach from Vancouver. Monica's taught grades 6th, 7th, and 8th in language arts and social studies.